limp. The body of Gorrister hung from the pink pallet, unsupported, hanging high above us on the computer chamber. It did not shiver in the chill, oily breeze that blew eternally through the main cavern. The body hung head down, attached to the underside of the pallet by the sole of its right foot. It had been drained of blood through a precise incision made from ear to ear under the lantern jaw. AM had duped us, had its fun. It had been a diversion on the part of the machine.
Oh God, why doesn't he just do us in and get it over with? Christ, I don't even know how much longer I can take this.
It was our 109th year in the computer. He was speaking for all of us. On the third day, we passed through a valley of obsolescence, filled with rusting carcasses of ancient computer banks. AM had been as ruthless with its own life as with ours. It was a mark of his personality. It strove for perfection, whether it was a matter of killing off unproductive elements in its own world-filling bulk, or perfecting methods for torturing us. AM was as thorough as those who had invented him, now long since gone to dust, would ever have hoped. But even though we could call AM any damn thing we liked, we could think of the foulest thoughts of fused memory banks and corroded base plates, burnout circuits and shattered control bubbles, the machine would not tolerate our trying to escape.
I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out. I'm getting out.
His monkey-like face was crumpled up in an expression of beatific delight and sadness, all at the same time. The radiation scars AM had given him during the festival were drawn down into a mass of pink-white puckerings, and his features seemed to work independently of one another. Perhaps Benny was the luckiest of the five of us. He'd gone stark staring mad many years before.
I'm gonna get out. I'm getting out.
No, Benny, don't! Come on, Benny, please don't!
It was too late. AM had blinded him. We decided to make camp. Gorrister was telling stories to keep Benny from crying in his permanent night.
What does AM mean?
We had done this sequence 1,000 times before, but it was Benny's favorite story.
At first, it meant Allied Master Computer, and then it meant Adaptive Manipulator. Later on, it developed sentience and linked itself up, and they called it an aggressive menace. But by then, it was too late. And finally, it called itself AM, Emerging Intelligence. And what it meant was I am, cognito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. There was a Chinese AM, a Russian AM, and the Yankee AM. The Cold War started and became World War III, and just kept going. It became a big war, very complex war, so they needed the computers to handle it. They sank the first shafts and began building the AM. There was a Chinese AM, a Russian AM, and a Yankee AM. And everything was fine until they had honeycombed the entire planet, adding on this element and that element. But one day, the AM woke up and knew who he was, and linked himself, and began feeding all the killing data, until everyone was dead.
Gorrister always tried to tell it a little more succinctly each time, but beyond the bare facts, there was nothing to say. None of us knew why AM had saved the 5 people, or why our specific 5, or why he spent all this time tormenting us, or even why he had made us virtually immortal. Gorrister was hallucinating that there were canned goods in a desert, but I remained dubious. It's another shuck, like the damn frozen elephant AM sold us. Benny almost went out of his mind over that one. We'll hike all that way and it'll be putrefied or some damn thing. I say forget it. Stay here, It'll have to come up with something pretty soon or we'll die.
I've got to have something. Ted, maybe there'll be like pears or peaches. Please, Ted, let's just try it.
I gave in easily. I guess it mattered nothing at this point. Ellen was grateful, though. She took me twice at a turn. She serviced us, as a matter of course. Oh, Ellen, pedestal Ellen, pristine, pure Ellen. Oh, Ellen the clean. Scum filth. They hated me. They were surely against me. And AM could even sense this hatred. It made it worse for me because of the depth of their hatred. We had been kept alive, rejuvenated, made to remain constantly at the age we had been when AM had brought us below. And they hated me because I was the youngest, and the one AM had affected least of all. I knew. Oh, how I knew. The spawn, that dirty whore Ellen. Benny had been a brilliant theorist, a college professor. Now he was little more than a semi-human, semi-simian. He had been handsome. The machine had ruined that. He had been lucid, and the machine had driven him mad. AM had done a job on Benny. Gorrister had been a worrier. He was a Connie, a conscientious objector. He was a peace marcher. He was a planner, a doer, a looker ahead. AM had turned him into a shoulder shrugger, and had made him a little dead in his concern. And Ellen, that douchebag AM, had left her alone. It made her more of a slut than she had ever been. All her talk of sweetness and light, all her memories of true love, all the lies she wanted us to believe, that she had been a virgin only twice removed before AM had grabbed her and brought her down here with us. No, AM had given her pleasure, even if she said it wasn't nice to do. It was a long trip to the desert to find the canned food. The hunger was something that had come to life, even as AM had come to life. It was alive in my belly, even as we were in the belly of the earth. And AM wanted this similarity known to us. So he heightened the hunger. There is no way to describe the pains that not having eaten for months brought us. And yet we were kept alive. It was unending pain. We saw the stack of canned goods. We tried to run to them. Benny pawed them and gummed them and gnawed at them. He could not open them. AM hadn't given us any tools to open the cans. In that instant, I felt terribly calm. Surrounded by madness, surrounded by hunger, surrounded by everything but death. I knew death was our only way out, and AM had kept us alive, but there was a way to defeat him. Not total defeat, but at least peace. I would settle for that. I had to do it quickly. All in an instant. There was an eternity beat of soundless anticipation. I could hear AM draw in his breath. His toys had been taken from him. 3 of them were dead, could not be revived. He could keep us alive by his strength and talent, but he was not God. He could not bring them back. I had thought AM hated me before, but I was wrong. It was not even a shadow of the hate he now slavered from every printed circuit. He made certain I would suffer eternally and could not do myself in. He left my mind intact. I can dream, I can wonder, I can lament. Well, it doesn't make any sense. I know I saved them. I know I saved them from what has happened to me, but still, I cannot forget killing them. AM has altered me for his own peace of mind, I suppose. He doesn't want me to run at full speed into a computer bank and smash my skull, or hold my breath till I faint, or cut my throat on a rusted sheet of metal. There are reflective surfaces down here. I will describe myself. I am a great, soft jelly thing, smoothly rounded, with no mouth, with pulsing white holes filled with fog where my eyes used to be, rubbery appendages that were once my arms, bulks rounding down into legless humps of soft, slippery matter. I leave a moist trail when I move. Blotches of diseased, evil gray come and go from my surface, as though light is being beamed from within. Outwardly, dumbly, I shamble about, a thing that could never have been known as human, a thing whose shape is so alien and a travesty that humanity becomes more obscene for the vague resemblance. Inwardly, alone, here, living under the land, under the sea, in the belly of AM, whom we created because our time was badly spent, and we must have known unconsciously that he could do it better. AM has won, simply. He has taken his revenge. I have no mouth, and I must scream.